We've got a blast from the past this week.
Yes, we do. Way from the past.
Way from the past. Take 27. Action.
Action. So your first collection with us was very early in 2020. I went back and I looked, right? It's almost 6 years.
That's ridiculous.
I know, it's amazing. And this is one, it's a little hard to see because of the, that's a little bit easier.
We'll do this. How about
there
that?
You go. So this is, I always want to call it Chunky Monkey. It's Chunky Spirals.
She calls it Chunky Monkey. There is no monkey in there.
No, but it's an alliteration and it works. Well,
Right.
It's not an alliteration,
No.
but it feels like it rolls off my tongue trippingly.
Okay, English major. It's not alliteration.
No, you're right.
But is there a term for when the words end with the same sound, besides rhyming?
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
That's a question for Google.
It's a question for all of you. You can let us know.
Yes, let us know in the comments below.
There you go. Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me. And this is named, and in the video I misnamed this. I said organic rhythms, and it's actually natural rhythms. And this, hello. This is from one of the patterns for layering collections. So we kind of went way to the beginning, and something that I want to say this was probably a year or 15 months ago. So. Yeah. But the cool thing is that sometimes stuff happens and then you realize it is actually pretty interesting. And we've done this technique before, but it's one of those that unless the mistake happens again, sometimes you forget about it.
Yeah, well, it happened yesterday. I was cleaning off my brayer and I was rolling it on a roll-off sheet and there was part of a stencil underneath it. And it transferred the pattern, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that.
I know.
I forgot about how fun that was.
So yeah.
And how easy it is, and what a great way to roll the paint off your brayer and create something that you can use rather than something that you're gonna cast aside. So.
Yeah, or even as it accumulates on a roll-off sheet, sometimes there gets to be so many layers that it's almost indistinguishable. So sometimes, roll-off sheets can be great, and sometimes they're meh. And this takes meh. It makes it very interesting.
Makes it very interesting. So so anyway, we're combining it with the gel print, and we're going to show you how to do it. And
the gel print? Oh, here it is. It's on. We hid the stencil. There it is.
Yes. We're going to show you how to do it.
Let's go.
All right.
All right.
So today is another example of something that happens sort of by accident or unexpected, and became a technique that I embrace. So we're always rolling our brayer off to clean it on a piece of paper, and one day I accidentally rolled it onto a piece of paper and with a stencil underneath it, and realized that I could create a relief texture that way. So today in these prints, I printed the bottom layer with one stencil, and then this top layer is brayer roll-off with a second stencil underneath the paper. So I practiced several times and got lots of different results with the same color palette. This one I think was a little bit darker and higher contrast. This one is a little bit softer. So what I learned is you can either roll over this with less paint once and have it be more subtle, or roll over it twice with more paint and have it be more obvious. So I like both, but you can have it be lighter, more subtle, or solid if you roll over it twice to apply more paint, which is what I think I did with this one. And then there's one more here. This was the last one I did, which I like the most. So I've got this kind of light roller texture print and lighter colors underneath, so less contrast. So this would be something I could use in collage, because the colors are closer together, so it reads as kind of a periwinkle. So I'm gonna show you how to do this, and hopefully we get some similar results. But you can never make the same paper twice. So we're using our 9x12 sketch rice paper pad. I'm gonna be printing on the sheet, the side of the sheet that faces up towards you in the pad, because it's smoother. It has sizing on it, but it's really easy to tell that just by feeling the paper. So if you take your paper out of the pad, you can really feel the difference. This is the smooth side and this is the rough side. And the smooth side just makes a better print because the gel plate likes a smooth paper for good contact. All right, so I am using my chunky spirals. This is a blast from the past. This is one of my original designs.
I think I looked yesterday. That design was released in January of 20, I think it was.
Wow, that's a long time
almost
ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago. So, and it remains to be one of a bestseller and a favorite. Everybody loves spirals, and we were talking yesterday about making this one. This was back in the day when I was drawing the designs with a Sharpie marker.
Oh, we don't want to go back there.
And not using the iPad. And then this one, I can't remember the name of this. Do you?
I think it's Organic Rhythms.
Organic Rhythms, yeah.
It's from, I want to say it's the first Patterns for Layer collection, but I could be wrong. It might be the second.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool because it's got dots, but they're not all round, and they're not consistent in size.
They remind me of cells.
Yeah, they do, and they kind of swirl around. So this is very organic and swirly, and juxtaposed with this one, which is a little bit more angular but still swirly. And here's what I'm trying to do, and you can see with the overlay here, the Chunky Spirals has great big openings, big areas of open space, and that gives me the opportunity to put it over something with smaller openings, so I get the organic dotty texture in the openings of the Chunky Spirals. So that's how I like to combine my stencils, with small, medium, and large openings for layering. Okay. So the bottom layer will be gel printed. So I've got a solid sheet that I made already so that it's nice and dry of a light blue. And then I'm going to add over that this kind of periwinkle color. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the light blue to that, so that it's not too much darker than the base sheet. So when I make papers, because I'm using them for collage, I try not to have a lot of high contrast, so that I can use it as a medium value blue sheet. I need a little bit more paint there. I try to keep the values close together. But that's because I'm using it for collage. It depends on what you're using your papers for. Barb uses her papers a lot in journaling, and
they're great for backgrounds.
Backgrounds
They're
in journals.
Backgrounds. They're just marvelous.
So when she does that, she can go with a whole different kind of style of a gel print, because her goal is not to do the same thing that I'm doing. So let's see. So my point is, you may choose the colors and the level of contrast that suits your needs. So we've got the paint down, and then the stencil in it, and then the solid base sheet. And I'm working on the 9x12 gel plate, the Joggles Paper Paintings 9x12 gel plate, with the 9x12 stencil, with the 9x12 paper. So it all lines up. And the nice thing about that is you don't have to try to line up the next print or whatever, because everything just goes to the edges.
It's almost like we planned it.
Yes, it's like we planned it. So I'm just applying a decent amount of pressure to get a good print. And I am always going to look and see if I've got a good print. So like here, you can see I don't have complete coverage, so I just give it a little bit more pressure over there. And now I do. So it's always a good idea to take a peek before you take the paper off. Okay. So now I have this nice kind of blue on blue pattern, which is lovely. Don't you love that?
It is very
very
pretty,
nice.
Yes.
So now, to make my life easier or whatever, I'm just going to leave this on here, and I'm going to add a little white to it, just a little. And I'm going to take advantage of that blue that's on the plate, and also the blue that's in the brayer that's not quite dry. So when I just add white and then I swirl this around, let me add a little bit more white, between what's in the brayer and what's on the plate, I'm going to get a very pale blue just by adding white. Now, of course, you have to work while your brayer is still wet. So you can't like come back in a half an hour and do this. There we go. So now I have a nice, really nice pale blue color that's sort of a mixture of both of these colors, right? So I'm going to print this on itself again, just to create another layer. So I'm going to flip it around so it's in the opposite direction that it was the first time I printed it.
I didn't realize you did that. You know, you were working on that late yesterday when I was doing whatever I was doing, and I missed the fact that that was actually a second layer. So kudos to you, sister.
Oh, thanks. Yes, it's a second layer, but I made a point of printing it in the other direction so the dots don't line up or look like they're close to lining up. They're going to be totally different because I printed it over the paper with a flip. So now we have a nice dot pattern Very organic, 2 tones of blue. And then lastly, I'm not going to waste any paint. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it again. And I'm going to just print the ghost print over itself. So that way I'm getting another layer and I am not washing the plate. I'm using as much paint as possible. And now I have a really nice soft dot pattern just by layering it over itself a couple of times and layering the ghost print over it. So this is a really nice, for me and my purposes, it's a really nice kind of medium blue. All right. So I'm going to use the gel plate as my, I guess you would say my ink pad or my thing to put the paint,
Your palette?
the tool, yeah, the palette to put the paint onto the paper. There we go. Okay, so now the color that I'm going to go over the top with, this is a transparent color. It's completely transparent. So it's going to let some of the dots show through. It's not going to be too dark, too heavy. It should go well with this. We hope. Sometimes it gives you results you don't expect. I'm just going to get a different brayer here so that I don't mix any of this opaque paint into my translucent color, because you saw when I added the white to this, it stays wet for a little bit and it's going to stir into my new color. So I'm just going to use a second clean 6-inch brayer and I'm rolling it out over here just to get the paint on the brayer. And
the squeaky brayer.
That is the squeaky brayer. And I'm going to resist the temptation to get that brayer covered with paint. I just want a light coat because I want this to be sort of a subtle layer. If you wanted it to be a strong, bold layer, you could go with heavy paint and a dark color. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to this. And I found that I like going across horizontally. So I'm just going to take it and rub across. And so here I'll get a little bit more paint. And as long as it doesn't come out of register, you're just going to keep making it darker with more passes of the brayer. And then here I can go lighter. I could leave it just like that, subtle, but I can come in and make it darker as long as I don't shift it out of registration. So here's our softer blend and here's our a little bit darker blend. And if I want to get rid of the ridge in the middle or whatever, or I can go this way too. Ooh, look at that. So you just keep going, making passes over it until you get to the level of darkness that you want. So here I have this beautiful print with a subtle, very different. You see the edge of this? The roller, the brayer over the stencil is giving you a completely different indirect printing method than you would get as a ghost print on the gel plate. It's got a
softer,
soft
right?
edge. Yeah. It's just got a soft edge because it's just being rolled off the brayer rather than printed from the plate. So it just gives you another different effect and another different way to use your stencils.
All right.
So we hope you had fun with that, and I'm very impressed with Barb's ability to pull up these timelines of my first stencil collection and 15 months ago for the spotty dotty thing. That's an excellent linear time management in your mind. I have no ability to do any of that, so kudos to you.
Well, thank you, except that it wasn't from my mind. I had to go look. But
Oh, yeah,
still,
she looked
we have
it
the
up.
tools. We
Yes.
have the tools to do that.
Anyway.
So, yeah, we had fun.
Yeah,
We
we
hope
did.
you have fun.
I hope you have fun. All right. See you
Bye.
next week.